The Premier League is just around the corner, which means one thing: we gotta do prediction like we do every single year. Last year we got 7 out of 20 correct. This year we'd have to go one better. Try and at least get 10 plus correct would be good improvement. However, this year's is a little bit tricky because Saudi have come on and just snatched players from every Premier League team. But however, we're going to start at alphabetic order and work our way down and see what we can do. Start with Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth were a surprise package last year. They really surprised everyone. Everyone thought Bournemouth was going to come up and go straight back down. However, they did survive pretty comfortable, I would say, in the end. They look a pretty good team. Not a lot of big names. They did, however, let Jefferson Lerma go to Crystal Palace. And the centre mid they needed to improve on. They did, however, spend 25 million on a Sassuolo attacking midfielder Traore, 17 million on a left back from AZ and Milos Kerzik, I think his name is. They brought in Justin Clever from Roma. Enot Radu, the Inter Milan backup keeper, is now going to be Bournemouth's number 1 as Mark Travers is on loan back to Stoke in the Championship. I think Bournemouth finished at a reasonable spot. They improved their team. Seeing Antonio Irola as the new manager might change the way they play some football. Spanish manager likes that little quick passing game. I expect Bournemouth to finish 15th this year. That's my get. Bournemouth, first team on the board, 15th. Now on to team number 2 on the board, which is Arsenal. I want to say they bottled the league last year. You could argue or disagree with me. They were in a good position. They threw it away. They were 10 plus points clear Man City the stage before Man City do what Man City do every year and won their last 20 plus games in a row and go on a crazy form. Arteta, another year under Arteta, very good football the way Arsenal play. Bring in Declan Rice to cement the centre mid as Granit Xhaka leaves. Bring in Kai Havertz and Jurriën Timber, free brilliant signings, however did spend an upwards of 200 million on those three players. Are they worth it? Time will tell. Having Balogun back from Reims on loan as well, another attacking threat. I think Arsenal stay in the top 4 this year, but I don't think they do as well as people think. I don't think they push Man City for the title. Oh, spoiler alert, guess who I think is going to win the league. But I think Arsenal come in 3rd place this year. I think 3rd place for Arsenal this year. 2nd place last year, I think they overachieved a little bit the first proper year under Arteta and all the tactics. This year, a lot of big signings. I don't think Kai Havertz will hit the ground running for €75 million. Man's not worth it. If Arsenal can keep players fit, they could push for 2nd, but I'm going to put Arsenal 3rd in my prediction. Now, Aston Villa, probably the team that I'm most surprised by their transfer window so far. 3 massive signings coming in. Moussa Diaby for the right mid, Pau Torres at centre back, and Yuri Tielemans for centre mid. Tielemans only been 26, Pau Torres 26, Diaby 24. A lot of experience for those guys at the age that they're at as well. It's crazy. If Aston Villa can keep a hold of Martinez, because I know teams like Inter Milan are snuffing around them. If Aston Villa can keep Martinez, bring Diaby, Torres and Tielemans into an already strong Aston Villa squad, I think strength-wise Aston Villa are top 6 strength-wise in the club. It's ridiculous that you could go their 5th midfielder down, and the talent that Aston Villa have is crazy. Unai Emery as manager, Arsenal didn't give him enough time. You seen what he done when he came to Aston Villa last year. Unbelievable stuff. I think Aston Villa gets Europa League football this year, and I think Aston Villa gets 6th place. I think Aston Villa comes 6th in the Premier League this year. Now on to Brentford. Brentford are a team which I expected a lot from them in the transfer window, with Ivan Toney now banned for half or 3/4 of the season. I was expecting them to go wild and get a striker in to accommodate Toney for when he comes back. They didn't do that. However, they spent 26 million on Nathan Collins for Wolves. He only moved from Burnley to Wolves last year. Didn't really have the best season, yet Wolves still sold him for 26 million. Crazy. Kevin Schnatt from Freiburg came in for 20 plus million as well. Don't know a lot about him. He's a right midfielder. Will he help Brentford? I don't know. And they also signed a 30-year-old Freiburg keeper by the name of Mark Falcon. Again, I don't watch that much Bundesliga, and when I do, I don't really watch Freiburg play, so I can't really comment on what Flaken or Schnatt cost, but a €28 million combined price tag for both of them to bring into the club. I still don't think Brentford have a good season as they did the previous seasons. I think Brentford struggle massively this year, but I think I'm going to put Brentford at 16th. This is a massive shout. People are going to go mad at me. What the hell, Brentford? I think Brentford struggle a little bit this year. I just don't think Nathan Collins not the best centre back. I know I'm wearing an Ireland top. I should say that he's really good. He's not the best, and for that reason, Brentford is going to 16th. I don't think they've improved in this year, improved in their team from last year. Last year they've done really well, but I think they've struggled this year and they finished 16th. Brighton and Hove Albion, a team who, under Roberto De Zerbi, has been playing amazing football. The addition of the youngsters from João Pedro from Watford, and the Anderlecht goalkeeper Verbruggen. I had it up over my left hand side. I couldn't pronounce his name. Verbruggen coming on for Anderlecht as a goalkeeper. João Pedro, 21-year-old Watford. And we know Brighton like to sign these unknown people. How about an 18-year-old from Romanian Super League from a team called Faro, Adrian Fazlu. 18-year-old, 3 million they paid for him. He's going to be the next guy burst on the scene this year. Mark my words, somewhere or nowhere, he'll score a goal and everyone will be like, who is this guy? That's what Brighton do every single year. The signings they make go under the radar all the time. They just signed James Milner and Mohamed Dahoud from Liverpool and Dortmund as well. Brilliant signings. I think experience of James Milner will help the youngsters like Matomo and all around Brighton's academy. I think Brighton have a lot of potential here, but however, I think with the nearly sure to get European football, which means a lot more games on top of them. Hence why the signings in Milner and the Hood come on massively, because the European experience will pay dividends to them. I'm putting Brighton and Hove Albion at 9th place this year. I think they just fall off a little bit because of the European fixtures that they got to play on, like a Tuesday, Wednesday for the cup games and then all of the games. I just don't think Brighton players are used to it yet. But I also see Evan Ferguson having a standout season this year for Brighton. More game time, more goals. With João Pedro on one side, Matoma on another side. That's going to... Caicedo stays. That's going to be crazy for Brighton. Brighton at 9th position this year. That's my prediction. Burnley FC. Vincent Kompany as a manager in the Premier League. A lot of big things going on at Burnley, and a lot I am actually really intrigued to see. A lot of big signings. We're going to go through them a little bit because a lot of these I'm excited to see. 17 million on James Trafford, Man City's under 21 keeper. England under 21 goalkeeper as well, which won them the Euros or World Cup, I think it was. James Trafford was that goalkeeper. He had an exceptional tournament. Vincent Kompany snapped him off for 17 million. He's now going to be Burnley's number 1. Our signings as well. 2 Irish people. Dara O'Shea from West Brom for 7 million. And Michael Bafemi for 4 million from Swansea. I think Michael Bafemi for 4 million is a stint. When you see him put on an Irish shirt and see him play, it's like a completely different Michael Bafemi than what you had at Swansea and Burnley to what he plays at Ireland. In Ireland, he's the main man. Everything has to go through Michael Bafemi. At Burnley and Swansea, it wasn't. Swansea a little bit, yes. Burnley is not so much because they have talent everywhere. So I feel like if Michael Bafemi can hit the ground running in the Premier League this year, when he gets his chances, we could have 2 exceptional strikers from Ireland in the Premier League in Ferguson and Obafemi. But I think the biggest addition to them this year was FC Basel's striker Seek Amodai. I don't know. 22-year-old striker from Basel. Very good in the Swiss league. 18 million they paid for him. The biggest transfer that they paid. And bringing him in to help with this attacking prowess that Burnley already had at destroying the championship. That is going to be very good to see. And there's also talks at the recording time of recording this video. Burnley are heavily linked with Sacha Boa, the French right back from Galatasaray. If he comes in, that's another addition to your backline, which done superb in the championship, along with Dara O'Shea and Jordan Beer coming in as well. I think Burnley's going to have a good season this year, and I think they will finish 14th. My prediction for Vincent Kompany's first year in the Premier League is 14th. If you're a Chelsea fan, you could speak about this all day. Havertz, Mount, Kovacic, Koulibaly, Pulisic, Edouard Mendy, all left the door, plus many more. N'Golo Kante, Azpilicueta, all gone. The books, top boy looked and went, you know what? I want 30 players in my team, not 45. And he actually went, right, you're for sale, you're for sale, you're for sale. and sold them all to Saudi. Just saying. But a lot of big names leaving Chelsea means that a lot of names need to step up, including new signings Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku. I watched 2 Chelsea preseason games. Nicholas Jackson looked very good in the preseason games. Gotta give it to him. Against Newcastle, he looked very good, caused a lot of troubles, and they even got a goal that game. It was good to see a very well taken goal as well. I think Chelsea struggled this year though. I think Chelsea still struggle. They had the ground running. With Pochettino as manager, I think he's more of a yes man manager as he was at Tottenham, as it was at PSG, and now Chelsea. His resume looks really good, but I think he's more of a yes man manager. I think Chelsea do a little bit better than last year, but I still think they miss out in European football this year, and I think Chelsea finished in 7th place. I think Chelsea finished at 7th place this year. I think the less said about Man City, the better. Treble won them last year. How do you better a treble in a season? You buy Kovacic from your rivals, and João Cancelo comes back off from loan from Bayern Munich. That's an easy Man City found the last year. You know what? Our best right back, probably arguably one of the best right backs in the world. Let's loan him else. Let's loan him out. Let's just play youngsters at right back. We don't need him. Do you know how crazy that is? Yes, they sold. Yes, Benjamin Mendy went to Lorient. Whatever we want to make of that situation. Gundogan left for Barcelona and Mahrez left for Saudi Arabia. Kovacic is Gundogan's replacement. Mahrez has yet to be replaced, but they still have a lot of quality in there. It means more game times for the likes of Cole Palmer, etc. But I think Man City won the league, and I think they won it comfortable this year. Pep is just too good. Pep Guardiola won another Premier League, and Man City, and my prediction, finished first. Now, Everton, the rivals to the team I support, they went and had a terrible season, then decided, you know what we do? You see the 2 strikers, Moise Kean and Ellis Sums, that we have, guys who were there when DCL was in the cover of Vogue rather than scoring goals to Everton. Moise Kean and Ellis Sums left for a combined 37 million to go to Coventry and Juventus. Who did Everton bring in to replace him, I hear you ask? Danjuma, Ashley Young. Everton have not improved one single bit from last year, and this is where I think Everton paid a price. Last year they were very close to getting relegated, and I think this year they get relegated in 19th position. Sean Dyche is a master keeping people up. However, I don't know how he can do it with this squad that he's got. Let's go from Everton into Liverpool, the team I support. We will be talking about this in a future podcast coming up, but a lot of players we missed who left us, and Milner, Hendo, we could the list could go on, Keita, Ox, the list could go on. We looked very good in pre-season. Dominic Szoboszlai coming in along with McAllister. We're looking at new centre backs. A couple have been on the list, I'm sure, is one that's been mentioned. But now, midfield wise, once we get this Romeo Lavia deal across the line, 3 new centre mids coming in. And then we have Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott coming on their own. We still have Salah, Jota, Diaz, Nunez. I'm probably missing some off the top of my head right now. But going forward, I think we will have a brilliant season this year. But I think Liverpool, I think we come second this year. That's my prediction. I don't think we can outclass Man City at this next year. Maybe the year after that. There's always next year. But Liverpool's going to finish second. And now, Man United. They spent, 50, 60, 70 million Højlund. The man's probably got 20 plus, just over 20 plus career goals to his name. It's a big risk for United to take. They make him their new striker. Young, bags of potential. However, he's not proven one single bit. However, I think you get a little bit more consistent United this year. I think United finished 4th this year. Newcastle United, Sandro Tonali, I think is an unbelievable signing for them. However, losing Alison Maximin, replacing him with Harvey Barnes, I feel like it's more of a downgrade than it is an upgrade. Harvey Barnes is a solid, consistent 6 out of 10 player every week. He's nothing special. You wouldn't see another Champions League team go and sign Harvey Barnes because he's nothing special. I feel like Newcastle should have tried to outbid Tottenham for Maddison. I think that would have been a huge statement from Newcastle. However, selling some Maximin, a like for like, but a lot of a downgrade for Harvey Barnes. Tonali, they slot right onto that centre midfield, is brilliant. I think Newcastle both the demands of the Champions League and then potentially become a third and going on to Europa League. I think Newcastle finish fifth this year. That's my prediction. I think because of the Champions League pressure and wanting to do well in European football, I think they finish fifth. Still get European football next year in Europa League, or if they won the Champions League, which I highly, highly doubt it. But if they do, then they get automatic Champions League qualification. But Newcastle go finish fifth. That's my prediction. No, you might think, wait, you got your top seven, but you haven't mentioned Tottenham yet. That's because year one under Ange Postecoglou, is that how you say his name? And Harry Kane potentially moving to Bayern Munich. I don't see Tottenham doing that well. The addition of James Maddison is brilliant, along with the likes of Son and Kulusevski, still there. I just feel like the first year under Ange is going to be a rebuilding series. If he sells Kane, I say give Ange a year, maybe 2 years, and you'll see Tottenham finishing in the top four and challenging teams for the tops for second place behind City, because City are unstoppable, let's be honest. But yeah, Tottenham. I think Tottenham's going to finish eighth. Now that's a massive call, and a lot of people are going to come for my head for that. To be fair, that's fine. I might deserve it. At the end of the year, Tottenham could come second, and I'm the one who looks like an asshole then. However, I just think the first year under Ange, he wants to implement his own play style of Harry Kane. I'm doing this under the impression that I think Harry Kane is leaving. I think Harry Kane is already gone in my head, which means 8th position for Tottenham without their golden boot, I would say, if Haaland wasn't there, without their top goal scorer for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Where's the goals coming from? That's what I'm afraid of. And if Kane goes, Tottenham finish 8th. If Kane doesn't go, Tottenham could finish, I would say, in the top 6, no problem, pushing top 4, pushing United for that 4th place. However, I think Kane is leaving, so for that reason, at the time of recording, he's still here, but at that reason, I'm going to put Tottenham 8th. Now, fair play to Marco Silva for rejecting Saudi and the massive, massive contract for a manager that came with it. However, a person that didn't reject it is Mitrovic. Replacing Mitrovic with a Wolves injury-prone striker right now in Raul Jimenez is a downgrade. In my opinion, Jimenez hasn't been the best same striker since he came back from injury. Maybe this is his turn now to push onwards again. I think Raul Jimenez is a good striker. It's just post-injuries, post the leg break, I think it was, he's not the same. The goals and the passion that Mitrovic has shown Fulham the last couple of years is going to be massively missed. Fulham, I don't think will find as many goals this year. However, defensively, I still think Fulham are solid. Marco Silva staying with Fulham is a massive plus for them. I think that the addition of Calvin Bassey to the centre back and to the defence from Ajax as well is good. However, at Rangers, he was a good defender. Went to Ajax, he didn't do well at Ajax. He was bad at Ajax, yet they still got 22 million for him. And Mitrovic hasn't officially left Fulham as of yet. He's in still in talks with Saudi, but the teams like Inter Milan and all are sniffing around him as well. So he could be on his way out. If he doesn't, then this is going to be crazy what Fulham can do. Mohamed Sassouli, I believe, is now a Fulham player at the time of recording. He could do a massive U-turn and go elsewhere, but at the time of recording, it's an advanced talks that he's going to become a Fulham player from Southampton. Another defender been added to that. Marco Silva focusing heavily on their defense. However, I put Fulham 10th. Mid-table, I think, is a solid prediction this year for Fulham. The streets will never forget Wilfried Zaha at Crystal Palace. Never. What a player he was. Michael Olise could be on his way out. He's in talks. Not talks. There's big Premier League clubs sniffing around him. Two or three clubs in the top 6 are sniffing around. Crystal Palace lose Olise and Zaha in the same window, as well as losing Luka Malhovic and James McArthur, 2 of their centre mids. They struggle massively. Bringing Jarvis Lerma and on a free transfer from Bournemouth is an exceptional signing for that. However, Palace struggle, but not as much as people expect. If Olise stays, Palace will do very well, and Olise will become the new main man. However, If Elise leaves, Palace are in major trouble without any incomes or arrivals at the minute. I have Palace at 11th because I still believe Elise will stay this year. And Matthias Franke, a 19-year-old attacking midfielder, Flamingo, is on his way to Crystal Palace for 9 million. He's going to be the Michael Elise, while Michael Elise will take the main man spot off Wilfried Zaha. The winners of the European Conference League. How will they do in the Europa League this year? Well, I think again they struggle in the league because of the European demands. We've seen that last year. Conference League, they were beaten by teams from Spain, Germany, Italy. But they couldn't beat teams within England in the league, and they struggled massively. Just about stayed up. I think Moyes was lucky to keep his job this year. If he didn't do well in the European Conference League, Moyes was gone out the door. They did do well. Moyes has got Europa League football. He will struggle with West Ham this year. West Ham's biggest miss is Declan Rice leaving for over 100 million. The talks is Edson Alvarez from Ajax is going to be the guy to replace him, but nothing is confirmed at the minute. There's a price tag that Ajax have placed around 45 million euros on Edson Alvarez. If I was West Ham, I would pay that, get him on defensive midfielder, like for like, around the same age as Rice as well. Just needs to learn the English style of football, and I just think they need one or two more attacking threats because Mikel Antonio is not the number one striker. I think West Ham finished 12th because I believe before the season begins, Edson Alvarez will become a West Ham player and a new striker or another winger will be added to the roster, which will make West Ham finish a lot higher than last year. And I think they'll do really well in Europa League as well. So I'm going 12. Well, Wolves. Where do we begin? Out the door, Jimenez, Nathan Collins, Ruben Neves, Connor Cody, two centre backs, an attacker, and a DM. Massive from Wolves getting rid of all those players. But then who did it bring in? Boubacar Traore from FC Metz, who had an unbelievable season as just 21 years old last year. Matheus Cunha, a 24-year-old Brazilian international from Atletico Madrid for 50 million euros. Matt Doherty, the right back, coming from a free transfer from Atletico Madrid. Another good addition to the defence. I think Wolves do better. I just feel like centre back they're a little bit short on now with selling Nathan Collins and Connor Cody. They need someone, another centre back coming in. But Julian Lopetegui as a manager, I think Wolves do really well this year, and I think 13th is a good finish for Wolves considering their last year or two has been pretty poor standard for them. So I'm going 13th for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I had to do research. I know nothing about Luton Town apart from what their stadium looks like. Ogbenya, Ireland's right midfielder, the guy that if you watch me on stream and play career mode, I will sign him almost every career because I think this guy is unbelievable. He was too good for Rotherham last year. Rotherham survived in the championship by the skin of their teeth, and that was because of Ogbenya. Ogbenya making the free transfer move now to Luton Town. Isaac Gabora coming on loan from Man City, Ryan Gills, Tiff Chong, Mats Anderson, Marvelous Nakamba coming from Championship and low Premier League teams. I don't think it is enough to keep Luton up this year. I think Luton come up, but they go straight back down. Not a Derby County type of thing. I just feel like they don't have the. I'm saying they don't have the talent. I've never watched a Luton Town match in my life. Actually, pause that. I have. When Xabi Alonso scored from a halfway line against Luton Town in the FA Cup, I watched that match. But that's the last time I've seen a Luton Town match. But yeah, Luton Town, 20th place. Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest is two teams which are left. One finished 17th and one finished 18th. Let's start with Sheffield United, shall we? Sheffield United lost long-time serving Irishman Enda Stevens, signing Benny Traore and Anna Semlin from two teams in Sweden. I know nothing about these guys. 7 million combined. I don't know. Sheffield United, you're getting relegated. I'm sorry. I know nothing about your team right now. Which comes down to Nottingham Forest. You're finishing 17th. Why I think Nottingham Forest is finishing 17th? Anthony Alanga from United, Chris Wood from Newcastle. I think both of these are brilliant signings. A good, exciting young left winger paired with an experienced Premier League striker in Chris Wood. How Newcastle got 17 million for him is crazy. One thing Nottingham Forest don't have though, a goalkeeper. They're looking to buy Matt Turner from Arsenal, the talks of Dean Henderson from United. Those are the type of people that they're looking to bring in to be their number one. I think with Brendan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs White, Danilo, Taiwo Iwawani. I definitely butchered that. Good enough talent there for us for a second year in a row to scrape relegation and finish in 17th position. Now, I probably got all these wrong. I mean, apart from Man City won the league, I think I could have got all these wrong. Let me know what you think. I feel like I could have got this all wrong. We got 7 out of 20 last year. We're gonna try and at least get about 10 out of 20 this year, maybe more. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below what one you think I got wrong, and let me know as well, what is your predictions? I want to see all your predictions come on now, so let me know. Also doing a fantasy football this year as well. The link to join the league will be in the description down below. You can then decide if you think you have more ball knowledge than me. Come and test it out. It's been your T. Smash the like button, subscribe down below, and we're going to end on that note that Liverpool are coming second. I should have said Liverpool's going to win the league, because that realistically, as a Liverpool fan, I should want to win the league every year. But I can't see past Man City. It's been your T. Peace out.